Hey, how you doing? Hey, this is Adam from PlexGuide. So just kind of finished up the quick Debian video for PlexGuide. So we're version 7.6. So has been basically fixed up. So you could basically install your own custom containers. So I do have some instructions here in front of you that kind of make life easy. So once PlexGuide's installed, you should see a folder where you type cd opt my containers. So anything that you drop in here will actually copy over to the normal Plex guide. So if you use PG Box, backups, everything will just show up. And we're going to do kind of like a video for a proof of concept here. So I try to spell out the instructions as much as I can. So you can see here that, we're basically looking at it. And then if we type ls, we can see that there's a template folder right here. And this template here is folder for you. This template is here for you to basically kind of copy and edit. Normally, I would probably just take Atom, just take one of the other containers, write it up, change it, and then paste it, kind of like Nano, and then paste it into a file and then just kind of do it that way. So either way you go about it works fine. If you do put it in Nano, or you can even do it in your own GitHub, just however you write it up. If you can save it ideally so you can see it better is the key. So you really don't want to rely fully on just kind of a copy method, but it's here for you just in case. And we're just going to kind of talk a little bit about the file so you're not confused on what to do. So I'm going to do copy template YML, and we're going to call it, let's see, what can we call it? We'll just call it Noctis, right? Because me and Final Fantasy. So there it is, LSLA, and there's Noctis. So now we're going to edit Noctis. Right there. So the thing here is that you have to pay attention to is that you have to change pretty much this area. So in this portion, let's see, and the edits right here. So what we need to do is we need to set the PG role, right? So let's say you want to let's pick an app that actually already exists. So let's pick open new tab. And it's a good way to just kind of test things out, right? So just take like an existing container I don't have deployed and then see if it works, right? Yeah, because I don't want you to go through a whole video realizing that the instructions are forked at the end. Let's see, something that's not overly complicated. Let's do net data because it is so easy to do. Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to call the role, we're going to call it net data v2, right? And we're going to say, so net data uses the internal port 1999, so that's always going to be the same. The port that you're going to have to pay attention to most is actually the external port because this is where the translation occurs. So if the real net data is running on 1999, everything's just, well, this is just not going to work. Or you deploy this one first and the original one doesn't work. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do port 20,000, right? So sweet. So the image, we're going to go ahead and type net data, and that's pretty much it there. This you're going to leave alone because what this does is it executes a ton of common variables for you, and you're going to leave this alone. If you take this out, good luck to you. So like all these variables you see below that are kind of highlighted, a lot of this comes from this. So yeah, just leave that alone. If you need to do additional things, just add it anywhere after this, right? So if you want to take let's say you have port guard turned on, and in future, I believe that I'm going to have port guard individualized like the other apps that I've been doing. But if you want to take port guard authentication out, just take this line out. That's all you got to do. So this traffic, authentic, basic users, you just take that out. Everything else, you're pretty much going to leave alone. So if you want to add a subdomain, you can. So you can type, chicken dot, and you can do the same thing here. What do you see in front? So it's got to be exact. If you get errors, it's because you didn't type exactly what's here. And then don't forget the comma. So if you have a domain set up, and everything's good to go, net data, well, we called it net data version 2. So net data version 2 dot your domain, and then chicken dot your domain will actually point to this container. So you can add additional subdomains if you want here for any reason. Um, Now the volumes is really important. So I think over time I'm probably going to replace this one. But one thing that you normally would always leave here is pretty much this one. Just leave this alone because this is going to translate the local time. Now this is very specific to deluge, right? So we're going to go ahead and delete this. Now you see that passed out. Most of the times you won't need that. The only reason you need that is because you are actually having data processing on like a second disk. So right now, passed out is basically slash mount, right? So it's like slash mount deletion. For some reason, if you decide to change your path in the settings, that's what that passed out is because it's like a variable placeholder. So for some reason, if you created a second disk, it'll be like second disk slash deletion. Kind of. I think you kind of get it. So, but that's not something that needs to be there. Now, Mount Union FS, this one does not need to be here either, unless you're doing some type of data translation stuff. So right now, we're just doing net data. And the good thing is most of these containers that you write up, they're pretty much going to already have the standard role for you. So we're going to go ahead and start something here. So we're going to do slash sys, as mentioned below, and make sure everything is exact. If it is not exact, see, so I'm trying to catch myself here. If it is not exact, it's going to error out on you. And that's the great thing about Ansible, or Ansible, however you want to call it. The great thing about it is that when things occur, bad things occur, it will tell you what's wrong. It was like, hey, this does not make sense. Okay, so the next one is proc host proc ro. Okay, so you see I'm pretty much matching those, and it looks like there's one more. Normally I like to copy and paste this stuff. Just kind of cuts out the issues. There we go. Okay, you can see in this one, the variables are different than what I have here. So you notice in this one, they just have UID and GUID. So you need to make sure that when you're doing your container write-ups, they actually match what they provide you. Because if they don't, you can have error permissions. Things just don't work out. The things have to line up too. So you notice that when I took those out, those things went back. If you try to execute it, Ansible will just take a mind dump on you. Okay, other than that, that's pretty much it. So here is the standard execution of most containers. If you need to add additional things, you can, but most of the time you shouldn't have to. Maybe you might have to change the network, something here, but if you do, this is where you change it. If you notice the things above, they kind of plug in. So you see where it says set fact PGENV? What do you notice down here? PGENV. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to break down what you're doing, like the traffic labels, the volumes. I'm breaking it down for you so you can easily see it. And then it just plugs and plays it in here. The image, the PG roll that you did at the top, they all plug in here. So you can delete all this out and write up a normal YAML in, Ansible format and go from there, however you want to do it. But make sure you leave that core variables line there. Leave that there. So do not take that out. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to deploy this. So, because I already have net data running, and we call this Noctis, so that's fine. Okay, so I'm type PlexGuide, and then somewhere in that process, it should have started it. So we're gonna go ahead and type PGBox, and do we have Noctis? Look at that, bam! Look at that, we got Noctis here, right? Pretty awesome. Now let's see if I get any errors. Most times, again, I would just type it. Okay, it looks like just a typo right there. But let's see if I get any errors within the write-up itself, because you know how it is. If you don't write it correctly, you're gonna have issues. So let's just see if it errors out. Hopefully not. Just keep my fingers crossed here. And I forgot, I'm actually not running this on a local machine. I'm running this on a remote machine. This is just a test machine that I have up anyways. So I'm about to destroy. So again, this is just running on Debian. Yeah. Okay. So it looks like I need to take this, and then let's see if it works. Oh, crap. It already did it. Okay. So let's go ahead and paste it in, and let's see if NetData is running. Yeah, buddy. Look at that. See? So the translation worked perfectly, just like I thought it would. Because I believe actually I don't have NetData on this machine running. But the good thing is I can have two versions of NetData. Why? I don't know. But I just did this to kind of show you proof of concept. So if you have your own containers you want to write up, by all means, feel free to do so. Add whatever containers you have. If they're successful, push it to us and we'll add them to PlexGuide. Or if you need some help, we'll add it. We do have a new section in the forums where you can where you can post write-ups. So it's really, really new. So you can come here to how-to guides and write-ups and post here, and we can collaborate together and get it all going. So, because whatever you have will help everybody else. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it makes sense with you. Thanks. Have a good one. Oh, and please fulfill the subscribe, save, all the good stuff. Like the video, donate, be part of the community. So again, your those few things really do help out the project. Have a good one.